Hello. Today is Sunday, July 2nd. Today we will do quiet sitting. Please sit up straight, feet on the floor with your eyes closed.
Namo Amidats. Namo Amidats. Namo Amidats. Namo.
Today we will start with Sambujo on page 8, then Hyobyakumon and reading of the July names. Then we will have a reading by Hoshina Seki in memory of her father, Reverend Hoden Seki. Our chant today is Jusege on page 54, then the Vandana and Tisarana on page 7. Our reading will be Shonin Ichiru no Sho. Our Dharma message will be delivered by Reverend Gerald Joko Ikemiya. Our gathas today are Ondoksan and Nimbutsu, then finally announcements, words of appreciation, and closing gasho. Namu-nabutsu.
Good job. Me. respectfully call upon Tathagata Amida to enter this dojo as we joyfully scatter flowers of welcome. We respectfully call upon Tathagata Shakyamuni to enter this dojo as we joyfully scatter flowers of welcome. We respectfully call upon the Tathagatas of the 10 directions to enter this dojo as we joyfully scatter flowers of welcome. In reverent contemplation, we realize that Amida Tathagata, in order to liberate all ordinary beings who possess deep and heavy negative karma, has fulfilled his primal vow, merit of which is transferred towards sentient beings by his power. This is the teaching shared by Shinran Shonin, the founder of Jodo Shinshu, our denomination of Buddhism. How fortunate we are to hear it. May we all turn to the great wisdom and compassion of Amida in the present life and walk the great path of gratitude and thus attain birth in the Pure Land and the peace of Nirvana. Today, members and friends of the New York Buddhist Church gather to lovingly recall family members, friends, and teachers who passed during the month of July. Through their lives and example, they brought us to this wonderful teaching today. We know they are now one with the light and life of Amida Buddha and continue to guide us on our own journeys in life, wherever they may take us. These are the names of those commemorated this month. Juhei Arai, Walter Han, Hikoji Hasegawa, Sono Hasagawa, Mineko Hashimoto, Roy Hashimoto, Fuji Horishige, Tome Horita, Masaharu Inaba, Yoshie Ishida, Manken Toku Ishii, Kimiko Kato, Jun Matsuda Kishi, Ayako Kuchiba, Mei Kimiko Matsushita, Michael Min Matsushita, Isekichi Mine, Suma Mitsui, Koichi Mitsuuchi, Ellen Moslin, Sakai Lotus Nishimura, Yasuo Okuyama, Joe Shigeo Otsuki, Michiko Otsuki, Toshi Sasaki, Kazuo Seki, Hoken Seki, Reverend Hosen Seki, George Yoshio Sugai, Hana Takeda, Kayoko Tashiro, Nancy Kimio Wakuya, Philip Yampolsky, Emi Yasuda, No Kemi Yasuda. With adoration, we read the sutras in praise of Amida Tathagata and express our gratitude for the Buddha's great compassion. Please join me in saying the Nembutsu, the Buddha's name. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. have a reading by Hoshina Seki in memory of her father, Reverend Bozen Seki.
Good morning. Thank you, Reverend Cheryl, for inviting me to read the passage from my father's book, The Great Natural Way. On the spring day in 1961, I was fortunate to visit Lumbini Garden near the border of Nepal and India, where our spiritual leader, Gautama Buddha, was born. The year of his birth, according to historians, was 566. I saw a large stone pillar that was broken on top. This pillar was erected by the great emperor Asaoka about 300 BC. Upon it is engraved, in the writing of the day, "Here the Buddha, the sage of the Shakayas, was born." Beside the pillar, on a small hill, there was a little pavilion-like structure where a boy was chanting a sutra. 2 old women were listening. This place was simple, plain, tranquil, and a peaceful field. A great contrast in comparison to Europe, where I had observed so many magnificent religious art objects and cathedrals, and many splendid sights. It was like having had a luxurious dinners every day, when what I really wished for was ochazuke, tea and rice. When I stood in Lumbini's garden, I felt that this was the ochazuke because it was plain and natural without any embellishments. The teaching of the Buddha is based on the ultimate universal truth. As Gautama Buddha states, this teaching exists forever from no beginning to no ending, regardless of birth and death. We call this truth the compassion and wisdom of Amida Buddha, the life and light of eternity that embraces us as we are. This is the plain truth, the most simple and hopeful wisdom. For that reason, I shall remember how much I appreciated that Buddha's birth on this earth at the plain Lumbini Garden as it is today. Thank you very much.
Let us chant together the Jusege on page 54.
저의 주봉여 지금을 저도 이셔된 인시 진리 기엔다이코 부셔무사
Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Will you please stand if you are able to recite with me together the Vandana and Tisaran on page 7. Please be seated. I'll read the Gobunsho, Shonin Ichiru no Sho, chapter on the teaching of Shinran Shonin. These came from the letters that Renyo Shonin, the 8th abbot of our school of Buddhism, he spread these letters throughout the country so that everybody in every single village, small hamlet, every little community, Sangha community, would have the same text and also have the same teaching. So I'll be reading on the chapter on the teaching of Shinran Shonin. Shinran Shonin taught that the essence of Jodo Shinshu is Shinjin, or true and trusting. The reason is that by abandoning all other practices and completely entrusting ourselves in Amida Buddha, our spiritual rebirth is assured by Amida through the inconceivable power of the primal vow. This is known as entering the ranks of the truly assured at the very moment of Shinjin, or realization of true and trusting. Thereafter, all utterances of the Nembutsu should be understood only as expressions of gratitude for Amida's assurance of our spiritual rebirth. With reverence, I remain. Shonin ichiryu no go kanke no momuki wa shinji no motte honto serare soro. Sono iue wa moro moro no zogyo nagesete isshin ni mida ni kimyo sureba. Fukashigi no gan ni kito shite buddha no kata yori ojo wa jijo sashimeta mo. Sono kurai yo ichinen pokki nyushoujo shiju tomo shakushi. Sono ue no shomyo nembutta nyorai waga ojo osadame tamaishi. Gon hojin no nembutto kokoro bekinari anakashiko anakashiko. So, good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to the service today. It's a special service, our July Shotsuki Hoyo, our monthly memorial service, and also in memory of all these wonderful, great teachers that preceded us. I'm talking about everybody on the list because they were teachers for us. Of course, we're recognizing Reverend Hosen Seki, who is the founder of this New York Buddhist Church 85 years ago. And what a wonderful, wonderful legacy he has in us today. When we remember our teachers, and I'm talking about all the teachers, right? All the people that have given us knowledge and experience and understanding, we should be so grateful for their dedication. And so, in keeping with their wisdom today, I am going to speak about awakening to the light of in our daily lives. So can you join me in Gassho? Although my eyes filled with blind passion cannot see the light that embraces me. Great compassion ceaselessly illuminates my darkness. This is from the Hymns of the Pure Land Masters by Shinran Shonin. So awakening to the light of Amida's great compassion in our daily lives is a constant theme that we hear throughout the teachings of Jodo Shinshu. This light, which is always present, is not always perceived by us. We go through our lives experiencing stress, difficulties, loss, frustration, while unaware of the great compassion that is always present for us. With eyes filled with blind passion, we cannot see or understand the light which always embraces us and supports us. In the Shoshinge, the sutra written by our Jodo Shinshu founder, Shinran Shonin, which synthesizes his major teachings, he refers to the qualities of Amida's light. And this is from Shoshinge. Everywhere Amida casts light immeasurable, boundless, unhindered, unequaled, light lord of all brilliance, pure light, joyful light, the light of wisdom, light constant, inconceivable, light beyond speaking, light excelling sun and moon, he sends forth, illuminating countless worlds. The multitudes of being all receive the radiance. So in East Asian Buddhism, the name Amida is a combination of the terms for infinite light, or Amitabha, and infinite life, or Amitayus. First, this light reflects Amida's compassion that shines on all sentient beings regardless of who they are and what they've done. Shinran reminds us that we are all foolish beings, unable to see and understand our world because of our ignorance and blindness. But Amida's wisdom and compassion, just as the sunlight doesn't discriminate who or what it shines on, Amida's wisdom and compassion illuminates, embraces, and calls us to shed the darkness that is covering our lives. My wondrous power, by its great light, brightens the countless lands throughout, removes the darkness of the three defilements, and delivers all from all suffering and pain. Next, if we're fortunate enough to perceive the light of Amida's compassion and receive and understanding the teaching of the Dharma, we begin to see the root of our foolish selves, being always directed by our greed, anger, and ignorance. Seeing our own ignorance is like a flashlight turned on in a pitch-black night as we travel the road. We immediately see the road, the rocks, the trees and branches which could block our way. Amida's light illuminates the world as it truly is, and we begin to understand where our pain and suffering arise from, and next, how we can begin to end this pain and suffering through this great compassion. As we engage in the teachings and apply them to our own lives, the Dharma becomes one with us. This is when we realize that we are fully enveloped by Amida's light and life. No longer are we driven by our own self-power that is entangled and often motivated by greed, anger, and ignorance, but we are able to receive the other power of Amida's compassionate light. The Nembutsu, or saying Namu Amida Butsu, unites us with Amida, with that light. Finally, the light transforms to an inner light, giving us great joy, and we cannot help but feel gratitude. We begin to perceive and recognize this light shining from within others, and it awakens compassion within ourselves. As the light grows with gratitude, we share this joy with others through our actions, no longer motivated by our own self-power. We see this light often in our own lives. I reflected upon the occasion of my grandmother's 80th birthday. She was surrounded by her 6 daughters, 3 sons, their spouses, her many grandchildren. My grandmother had an inner peace and calm emanating from her. It lit up her face, and she gently smiled and folded her hands in her lap. All of us present seemed to be in a timeless state with her, suspended in joy and peace, where there was no distinction of separate beings. We all felt her love, her compassion, that she in turn passed on to us. How grateful I was at that moment. So, I'm sorry, I know that today's service is long, so I'm just going to move on. I wanted to interject my own observations here and the opportunity of being able to, in my own experience, when I perceive these moments of light. And I think that in our daily lives, we have these moments of light. You know, if you are just aware, if you become aware and you listen, you look, and that's what we talk about as mindfulness, being aware of what's going on right now, at this present moment, not about what's going on tomorrow, something that somebody did to me yesterday. Right now, to live in this present moment is the most important thing. And then you begin to realize and see the light that is there for you. This is a moment of transformation that I experienced when I was working in pastoral care. That was at a local hospital. The patients and the families were under extreme stress and uncertainty, of course, because they were in the intensive care units. Some patients were in comas, uncommunicative, and some near death. It took me weeks to overcome my fear of walking into their rooms and not knowing anything, my emotional distress in witnessing their physical state, or my concern about how to communicate with someone who couldn't speak or respond. But overcoming this fear, I began to let go of my self-conscious state. So I kept these 3 things in mind when my mentor teacher told me to do this. Be present. You don't know anything. And demonstrate loving kindness. So with deep hearing, being present, it made me let go of the fears that I had. My sole focus was on the person right there in front of me. His or her physical state became less something to fear and more something to be conscious of and considerate of. I didn't know any answers, and so this freed me from providing wisdom that I couldn't provide. I needed only to lend a compassionate ear, be fully present there for the patient, holding his or her hand, sometimes letting the patient or the family member pour out their worries and concerns. Sometimes we would hold hands or share a prayer together. At these times, I began to trust in that greater presence. We were in a different space where I felt an all-knowing compassion, which I felt was Amida's penetrating light. I'd never felt so close to other people, and these people were perfect strangers to me. But at that moment, together we found peace. One doesn't have to be in such extreme circumstances to experience deep hearing or deep presence. In fact, if we can be present, focus on the here and now, laugh at the young puppy frolicking on the grass, or smile at the little girl on the bus. Smell the earth in early spring. Pour our energy into cooking dinner. Listen closely to our friends and family when they want to talk. We can live life to the fullest with joy and gratitude in the light of Amida's wisdom and compassion. So let us place our hands together again in Gasho. Everywhere Amida casts light, immeasurable, boundless, unhindered, unequaled, light Lord of all brilliance, pure light, joyful light, the light of wisdom, light constant, inconceivable, light beyond speaking, light excelling, sun and moon. He sends forth illuminating countless worlds, the multitudes of being, all receive Amida's radiance. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Joel, please stand for the gathas on page 134, Ondoku-san number 2, and 135, Nembutsu. Please join us together. So this concludes our service for today. Thank you all for coming. I wasn't expecting to be here by myself on the altar, but thank you for indulging in my fumbling here. So at this point, we want to welcome anybody who's here for the first time. So do we have any first-timers? I know we do have one or two. My grandson and son-in-law are here, but
Downstairs, but I'm her daughter, and my son is two, who is making a little bit too much noise before, but he's downstairs playing with the room. We're very excited to see Grandpa up here. My husband is here as well. We're looking for mom, and
and Miwa grew up here. She was she started coming from when she was probably around Kai's age, around 2 years old, and she went through Dharma school, and she was here all the way through, learned Taiko and everything. So this is like coming home for her. So thank you for coming today, Miwa. Do we have anyone else who's here for the first time? No? Okay. Thank you all for coming, and thank you. I want to acknowledge our helpers today. Lily Sakai Johnson did the tech today. Thank you for rescuing us. Yay. And John Skelly was our pianist today. Here they come. You want to, everybody can meet my grandson. Okay, and my son-in-law Rohit. Yay! I'm sorry, I was in the middle of all of this, and I got distracted. And thank you, Hoshina, for coming today and reading from your father's wonderful book. If you don't have it already, I would encourage you all to get a copy of The Great Natural Way. And Reverend Seki's wonderful teachings are all here for us to read over and over again. Thank you for our flower arrangement teacher, Yamakawa Sensei. She teaches every Saturday, and she does all of our flower arrangements too on the altar. So they're really, I look forward to every Sunday to see what new beautiful things she has come up with. But if you're interested, she does teach here in the building on Saturdays, I think every Saturday except for the last Saturday of the month. And that's okay, he can be here and make noise. It's all over anyway. He calls me Bachi, which is short for Obachan. So, and let's see, who else have I missed out on? Yeah. See? Yeah. So thank you all. And things that are coming up, I should have it right at my fingertips, but it's in the calendar. But we are going to be doing an Obon service on 2 Sundays from now. No, 2 or 3 Sundays from. Wait, I've got to get this calendar. Sorry. Let's see if I can find it. No, it's going to take me forever. But anyway, oh, you're going to come up here? Oh. Oh, and we have also, if you want to remember any of your family members, you're going to come here and say hi. Oh, look at it. This is Kai. Say hi. Yeah. He's almost 2, right? Are you almost 2? Right? Oh, thank you. Thank you. You stay right here, okay? We have, if you want to remember somebody for Obon, we have forms that you can fill out. We'll have candles. Here, come up here. I can lift him now. Well, yeah, this, yeah, that's, yeah. And well, we have a lot of other things coming up, but do check our calendar on the web page. I send it out in MailChimp. We have, oh, okay, you want to come down? All right. I just am so proud of him. Anyway, I can't help it. He's my first grandson. Yeah, Bachi's here. Okay. But, so you're all welcome to do a shoko after the service. We have refreshments upstairs today, but please check our calendar. Yes, we're going to have, for the Obon service, we'll have candles on the altar, and if you want to remember someone, please fill out the form that we have, okay? So thank you all for coming today. We all appreciate your being here because you are the reason for our existence. Everybody who's here and everybody who's online, thank you so much. Please place your palms together and gasho. In gratitude for this opportunity for us to come together to remember our loved ones and our great teachers, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.